That's good, bro. Come on, a little shot. Thank you. Blue bros. Sure. Right.
The opinions expressed on the radio program by the host, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
Yeah, y'all already know what it is. We back in the building. We done had to come in here and turn the mics on, yo. We just came from a phenomenal event, Unity, not even the Unity Community, Juneteenth event at Town Square there, Court Square, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Vargas Brothers got on the stage and burnt it down. Once again, Scar was in the building. You know what I mean? Burnt it down again. You know what I'm saying? So we just wrapped it up right a little bit over here. So fellas, I'm taking the camera off me, putting it on y'all. We're gonna talk about it. And y'all tell me how y'all feeling today. Jump in there.
First and foremost, all praises due, man. We gotta thank God for another victory. Feeling blessed. Another day to be alive, opportunity, to just meet great people, such as ourselves, and be able to just, elevate individually and as a team, man. We feel good. Thank you for having us, Genesis Radio, for real.
Yeah, I gotta say this, man. Since the day Ron ran into y'all at the gas station quite a few years ago, he told me about these two brothers he met. He said they rap. I said, bring them through. You know what I mean? And it was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. You know what I mean? You brothers is down to earth. Not only that, talented. Now me, being in the industry, involved with the industry since I was 18 years old, professionally involved since 18 years old. A lot of cats I done encountered, they were all right. Like they needed to be polished and, like they needed development. And I got to say one thing. Y'all brothers came equipped. We had a song called Equipped. Remember that song we called? I Come Equipped. That's right. Y'all came equipped, man. You know what I'm saying? There was we didn't have to take y'all to school and say nothing. It just came. Y'all was ready to go right out the gate. So you know what? We love that out the gate. So tell everybody who the Vargas Brothers is and what y'all do before we get into the Coquito. That's the best in the land. But tell everybody about the Vargas Brothers.
Well, I go by Drizzy the Icon. I go by Mr. Tom Guns, aka the Fedora Aura, everybody. We definitely a dynamic duo of the yin yang. I love my brother to death. A lot of people would compare the yin yang to light and dark, good or bad, but at the end of the day, me and my brother, we just so similar and very different at the same time that we are able to complement each other on the stage and actually off the stage as well, and give people a dual personality that would allow them to gravitate towards us and love us for who we are. But we represent the Bronx, New York. On this point, we outside. When we out of town, clearly it's the whole New York. We put every borough on our back.
Hold up,
feel me?
Y'all out of Hunts Point?
Yeah, out of Hunts Point, HP. Right?
I used to have a sick bay on Garrison Avenue.
Word? Stop playing.
I kid you not. I kid you not. I used to I used to call it my sick bay. You know what I mean? I was coming from, I'm originally from Sugar Hill with the Queens, So when I had to have a sick bay, my sick bay was on Garrison Avenue in Hunts Point. You know what I mean?
Little median spot.
Yeah. You know why? Because all the Bronx chicks was about that life.
Yeah, you was telling us about the Edenwald too, because we went from Hunts Point, moved up to Edenwald.
Edenwald, where they throw refrigerators off the roof.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You have to stop seeing that girl.
Yes, indeed, man. So y'all hip hop journey started in the Bronx.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hip hop journey did start in the Bronx. You know, my older brother. We have an older brother, so we was always our ears was always in tune to hip hop, and him what he was playing, and he was he was more conscious of what he took in. So he liked more the energetic hip hop, the conscious hip hop, the message. It wasn't he didn't play too much of the gangster rap when it started coming around too much. He was Wu-Tang. He was a big Wu-Tang fan.
Okay.
With Nas, Biggie, played all them albums. My grandmother, she went crazy. Turn that down, that crazy. But he was still come through and play like Pete Rock and Spectre Deck and all those crews, because we 7-8 years behind them. So that sound trickling down to us, it never left us. Even if we sound like we have a up to date vibration, we still make sure that that original hip hop is embedded, because we can't get it out even if we wanted to. Yeah, he used to show up from back in the day, like meet and greets. So you have to go to record stores, sit there with your project and sign records and push your record, your set, albums. And he used to be the one to go to all the meet and greets, get the posters signed, come back with the posters signed by everybody, the grave diggers, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, like all those signatures, these little brothers, like, yo, you got to meet everybody, you got to meet Ghostface, you got the Supreme Clientele poster signed, you got like different nostalgic things that are just like, oh man, it was a time, the 90s. We was able to get our eyes opened up to hip hop at a young age. So
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Y'all mentioned Hunts Point, man. That took me back, man. Shit. I had some good times at Hunts Point, man.
Rage. Shout out to the GOAT.
How about the GOAT, man?
The GOAT, the
Gizzo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, boy. Junkyard by day, strip club by night, baby. What y'all know about the GOAT, man.
Come get your auto glass, your window fixed, and and drop a tip.
That's right. That's where they were shaking it fast, baby. Yes, sir.
Blink your eye, your pockets is light.
You better know it. You better know it. Man, that was a hip hop story in itself, right there, man. You know what I'm saying?
TP, if you don't mind, I definitely we came equipped with the team.
It's up, man. We got Scar here. Jump right on in, Scar.
We go by VB the family, but aside to the family, man, this is definitely our brothers, man, and very talented crew.
Introduce the family, man.
Let's go get them, man. Talk to them. I got you. Matter of fact, excuse me. First and foremost, engineer extraordinaire / artist. Amazing guy, amazing person. Super versatile. Super understanding and easy to work with. When you're in the studio and you have your engineer, you want to be able to, have some type of connection with your engineer, and blessed to have a connection with this engineer right here. Like I said, he's also my brother first and God bro first. So I would like to introduce my brother Scar. King Scar, talk to him. Scar, the original king.
The original king. What y'all doing? What's good? How y'all doing?
Break it down. Tell everybody who Scar is, man.
Scar is a rapper. He's everything he want to be. The sky's the limit, and he just follows it. That's who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember Strategy brought you in here a long time ago, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Strategy.
Yes, sir.
Scar, if you don't mind, can you just give him a little rundown on your journey?
Where you want me to start with the scars?
Yeah, you just let them know how you came into the music game, and basically your influence in this area, man. Everybody knows you out here in Strasbourg. A lot of people want to work with you. You have a curiosity and an interest aside to that, and it's all up from here.
My music journey started when I was, I want to say 4. This shit's been in my blood since I was born. Shout out to my pops. My pops is a DJ. He the one that taught me how to rap. He the one that showed me life.
Shout out to Papa Luke.
Amen. And he also, music in general saved my life. You know what I'm saying? I got my scars from being attacked by a dog when I was 10. I was protecting my sister. I suffered 576 stitches, and I was in ICU for 2 months. And the only thing that kept me pushing was music and family. So I'm big on that. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't even be here and connect with my brothers, you know? So I thank God for everything I'm equipped with. I thank God for them and everybody in this room.
There you go, man. That's what who else we got over here, man?
Structure, baby, you know that.
Yeah. Break it down, man. Tell
So
everybody
some structure.
I'm from Patterson, New Jersey. You know, I came out here maybe a couple of years ago to be here. Kind of just, you know, go with the flow of things and just try to stay heavy on my P's and Q's. I met the Vargas brothers when we was incarcerated. You know, we're not really gonna get into that because it's a whole past time. We're not, you feel me? Moving past that time.
Exactly.
And now we here, you know what I'm saying? I met Scar through them. You know, ever since then they introduced me to this music. And you know, we've been, you know, making songs left and right. You know, so we're just trying to be something. Like my motto, I always told Scar, like I'm trying to make $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Big money.
Oh yeah, man. But you know what? That's dope, man. Because one thing that we always talk about here, right? You're only as good as people you surround yourself with. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with a team. You know what I'm saying? You know, and y'all know our slogan has always been, "We're better together." You know, we are better together. You know what I'm saying? So we got to network, link up, lift each other up, build each other up. You know what I mean? Because one thing that everything that we do, you know, we look for like-minded people. So when you find like-minded people, lock arms, lock in. You know what I'm saying? You know, and never get bit by the same snake twice. You know what I'm saying? That's my ditty for y'all today. You know what I mean? When you recognize the snake and you know he's a snake, you still show him some love. He bit you once, never give him an opportunity to bit you twice. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta mow the grass.
You know what I mean? That's right. That's right. So you know when you walk around and you look around, you want to build that team. You know, and y'all look strong, man. Because you know what? Y'all was up on the stage today. You know, y'all got up there doing your thing. I'm sitting there like a proud papa and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just sat back there, you know, in IQ's booth while y'all got up there and started, man. And, you know, I was just shaking my head because, you know what? I love to see good, talented people. And y'all brothers is grounded, solid, you know what I mean? Sucker free, you know what I mean? And that realness stands out. So, you know, I watch y'all do y'all do. I knew Scar had some skills because he came in here and set the place on fire, right? I wasn't expecting him to jump up there with y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't,
a lot of people surprised
because you know, I heard y'all do that song before, right? It was just y'all, you know what I mean? So Scar jumped up there. I said, "Oh, this is some bullshit right here." You know what I mean? You know, this is some bullshit, man. But it was bullshit in a good way. You know what I mean? Not negative. I said, "Okay, I see what it is."
Yeah,
you know
see
what I'm
the
saying? I see what it is.
Listen, we eat the TV, man. We got a few minutes for people to shine. I mean,
oh yeah. Oh, that was dope. That was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? And the dynamic works. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that sneak attack style right there, because he was in the audience with the camera in front. You know what I mean? And I picked him when he kind of slid over there. You know what I'm saying? But I thought he was just going, you know, just live. You know what I mean? Live. I looked
right
up.
On time.
I looked up though. You know what's crazy? Y'all kind of stepped aside, and he just stepped up. You know what I mean? I said, kiss Maggie's ass. You know what I mean? I don't even know who the fuck Maggie is.
She was playing like a mug.
Yeah.
We also got we just dropped a record. We just released a record called the Super Bowl. That's on the Scar. You go check that out. Featuring the Vargas brothers. Super Bowl. We dropped back with like February, March. Right after, like right when the Super Bowl happened. We went to the Super Bowl parade. We lit it up.
They were going crazy for us too.
Yeah, we had them. It was going crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Y'all got something, man. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid to take it on the road, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell y'all some stories, right? With what I was doing, and I done work with some of the biggest and best people in the game, right? And some of these superstars, you know, people don't know their story, how they paid their dues, right? I remember going out when I was with Atlantic Records, going out with different groups and artists on promotion tours, right? You know, they did club dates. You know, back then they used to do club dates in stores and all that type of stuff like that. And I remember this one particular group. I ain't gonna say no name because I'm about to do some business with them, and they're gonna be mad at me if I tell their story. So we doing a club date, right? And clubs open up. There's about 20 people in the club, and they got up on that stage in front of 20 people and rock that joint like it was 10,000 people in there. Bust a sweat and everything, right? They had 2 shows. First show had about 20 people in it.
That's all that matters.
The second show might have had about 50 people showed up for the second show.
That's all that matters.
Because we let the 20 from the first show stay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then about another 30 people came and they blazed it. And you know what? Them brothers kept pushing the ball forward, right? And that same song that they was pumping became a multi-platinum song, you know, within 9 months. You know what I mean? It went from performing in front of nobody, you know, in a club to being on the Budweiser Superfest stage. You know what I'm saying? If y'all might be a little younger than us, man, but y'all remember the Budweiser Superfest. You know what I mean? Al Heyman and them. You know what I mean?
Sound big.
Budweiser
Oh
yeah.
Look,
It's like Summerfest.
Look,
we make stadium music. No, we make
that's right.
arena music.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say that y'all already ready for the big stage, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats ain't ready for the big stage, you know, and to keep it a buck, if I fucks with you, I fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get the same love, because if you ain't ready and you don't come equipped, you know, we gonna be like, yeah, all right.
Can't vouch, can't vouch.
You know, like, listen, I'm not gonna invite you to my house to knock my sister off, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody don't get that invite. You know what I'm saying? You Sharif, you think, right? You know what I'm saying? Like some dudes, nah, you can't talk to my sister, man. Get out of here. I don't care what you got. Nah, but and there's some cats like, you can come on my house and fuck my sister. You know what I mean? You know?
Crazy.
You know?
No.
Nah, definitely not.
There you go. But that's real. But what I'm saying is, man, y'all keep doing what y'all doing the way y'all doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? I like what I see, man. I see the growth. You know what I mean? And then y'all got the ultimate plug with this coquito, man. Like
it's a secret weapon. That's the byproduct, and I appreciate y'all patience with us in general, because
yes, sir.
Like you said, you know, we on our way. You see the growth.
Oh yeah.
Even every now and then, I try to step outside of my own shoes to see if I'm able to witness the growth or anything we may have retracted on. So to hear it from the outside looking in, even though you are a good friend of ours, but you're a good friend of ours because you, like you said, you fuck with us.
That's right, man. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'm telling y'all, like, I'm all over the place right now, right? Like I was just saying, August 2nd, we're gonna be down in Shelby, North Carolina. Never been there, never heard of it until somebody said, you know, it's a Southern Soul Festival down there. I forgot what the name they called it. I pulled it up a minute ago. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. You know, because some people listening might be like, oh, we know where that's at. We gonna be there. Shelby, North Carolina, Peachy King Soul Festival is what it's called.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Peachy King Soul Festival. You know, we're gonna be down there, do some things. You know,
my bro right here to the right of me, he's a amazing vocalist, you know, another artist as well beside me. I would like him to introduce himself, because he's originally from the South, and you know, I don't know, I just see him down there.
Watch that chair missing the wheel.
Oh yeah, you know, that
chair
ain't got no
disclaimer
shirt.
in case you fall.
Yeah,
You know,
no disclaimer for the chair. Word.
Hey, look, I started looking at it and started making some decisions real quick.
Yes, sir.
I thought I was going to hit the floor for a minute. But no, listen, I go by the name Montreal, and definitely from the South, originally from Mississippi, and so I'm definitely looking forward to checking out this Southern Soul.
Yeah,
that's gonna be pretty cool.
We going down there.
Yeah,
that first weekend in August, man. You know, and if y'all want to come hitch a ride, come on down and put your eyes on and see what's going on. You know, because sometimes you got to get outside the box. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, and
the day in August.
It's second, August 2nd and 3rd that weekend. You know what I mean? Like I said, we going down there on some business stuff. You know, we got a whole thing. I was telling you about this pay-per-view thing that we got going on. You know, we going down there to do that. You know, be a part of that thing right there. you know, to videotape them dudes doing that, you know, and just to network and vibe with some people, man. You know what I mean? Because you never know where you're gonna find alliances and allegiances and you know, like, you know, good people. Because guess what? I got some business partners right now that if we wasn't who we are, we wouldn't be business partners. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you think that's my man right there, he should believe in me. That's not always the case. You know what I'm saying? You find allegiances and good people with people you've never met before. You know what I'm saying? And what's ironic is we've all crossed paths at one point or another. Me and him, we met in Q's, sitting at the bar. You know what I mean? He was in there with your wife, right?
Exactly. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we was in there just chopping it. You know, he was kicking it with Q, and you know, Q introduced us, and he was talking about what he do. You know, and I'm an astute listener. You know, so I listened to the brother talk. You know what I mean? And we chopped it. I even told you about the studio and all that other stuff, man. You know, so yeah, man.
If I'm not mistaken, he might have won some studio time, you know, playing some, you know, some of his records or singing. He sang that night, maybe I think it was karaoke.
Yeah, he was up in there. You did get the you did win the studio time.
Yeah.
Right, got studio time. Yeah.
We got a winner. We got a winner.
Did you come here and record something or do something?
I haven't recorded anything yet.
You haven't done, so this was your first time seeing the studio today?
Exactly.
So what you think about the studio up there, man?
I love it. I like the vibe of the people, you know, see people, especially young guys in there working.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something. So. People don't realize that, man. We the best kept secret in the Poconos, man. You know why? Everybody don't need access to you. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know,
say that again.
Everybody don't need access to you, man. You know what I mean? Because guess what? There's a lot of cats out here that I can say we put on, I put on. You know, there's another little studio out here. The young boy who used to be in my house. You know, he learned how to engineer in my house because he was my son's friend. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now they got their little studio thing going on. I salute them. I'm proud of them too. You know why? Because that's fruit from my tree. You know what I'm saying? That's still fruit from my tree. You know what I mean? Because if I open my doors to these young bulls and say, come on in here, man. Go ahead. Y'all go up in there and then play with that equipment. Go ahead. You know, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? They got the bug. You know what I'm saying? So now when I hear that, you know, I'm talking about Trey. Y'all know Trey, right? You know, the Red Room, them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Trey. You know, and so
that's
like,
how we met. We met Scar like forming in the place, but we also booked him as an engineer too. And that was it. It was like,
shout out the Red Room. Shout out the
shout out the Red Room.
That's alive right now.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because Trey and his brother, you know, there was young bulls used to come to my crib, man.
Just never know what path people don't.
That's right.
You know, you just realign or.
Yeah, I salute them cats, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I consider them fruit from the tree, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it all started on Jennings Lane, you know, up in the crib. You know what I mean? So, you know, so you never know who you're going to inspire and how it's going to be received. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? When you can see the fruit of your labor, you know what I mean? Your influence. You know what I'm saying? I can say my influence because, you know, I was the vehicle. You know what I mean? I was the cat who had the laid out studio in the crib, you know, and all my son's friends got the opportunity to come and, you know, benefit from what he had access to.
Sharpen there, you know.
That's right. That's right, man. So, you know, y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man, and always look out to reach out and connect with some people. Don't be afraid to link up with somebody that does something different. You know what I'm saying? Because you rapping and you doing hip hop, don't think that there's not a lane for you. Like I'm talking about Southern Soul. Southern Soul's on the way up. You know what I'm saying?
We got some songs. I sing a little tune there. So we got some songs that we really been working on and like just going down, you know, just testing things and they've been hitting. It's like,
and you know, it was crazy is
I like that.
We about to do something with the Chuck Brown band. You know what I mean? Okay. You know, now Chuck Brown is the godfather of go-go. You know what I mean? So I gotta look around. I got an R&B background. You know what I mean? A little hip hop, but both of my backgrounds R&B, right? And why would I be wanting to do something with Chuck Brown? Go. Why? You know what I'm saying? Look here. Boom. We got Nelly Furtado up there on the wall. Right. Guess what? Never met her. But I got the plaque.
Yeah.
Never met her. Never was in the room with her. Went away, came back one day, and the box was on the step. You know what I mean? With some checks and plaques.
Go with it.
You know what I'm saying?
So that matters.
Because we did some things that what we was talking about. How we was talking about earlier about putting a catalog together. You have a catalog, you have different stuff, and you put it in the marketplace. You never know who picks up and uses it. And sometimes you don't even get the call that somebody's using it till they used it. You know what I'm saying? And then the Harry Fox agency say, "Oh, by the way, you know you got to hit them off, right?" You know what I'm saying? And boom, next you know, you come home, you got a check, you got a plaque. You know what? So I can tell people, yeah, I got some credits from her. Never met her. You know what I'm saying? Never met her. You know what I'm saying? Never had a conversation with her, nothing. But guess what? Ching ching. You know what I mean? Little fat boy done good. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm dropping that ditty on y'all to say that, you know.
Another little Debbie cake added to the.
You better know it. You better know it. Don't be afraid to get out the box, man, and go somewhere you never been before, man. You know what I mean?
Now we definitely have a vivid vision of a universal sound of going global and traveling the world and just putting smiles on people's faces from the vibration and the energy that we deliver from what they see or what they may hear. So going global is if anything is our number one goal, you know, and just to spread that universal sound and be as versatile as possible, but also knowing who you are as an artist, as the Barber's Brothers and the rest of the fan.
Hey, look, y'all got a lot of hustle to y'all. That's what I like about y'all. Matter of fact, I don't like it. I love it. The hustle. See, that's where we connect that, because you know, from one hustler to the next. You know what I mean? You know, people who got grind in them hustle. You know what I mean? You know, y'all ain't laying around, waiting for somebody to come hand out something. Y'all grinding. Y'all jump from behind the table, sampling coquito to jumping on the stage and burning down the house. You know what I'm saying? You know what? A lot of people be like, I ain't doing that. That's too much work. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Y'all got hustle in y'all, man. You know what I'm saying?
Can I get a round of applause for that?
You gotta applaud the hustle because that shit is so real. It's like you could wake up at a different time of the day as somebody else, but y'all can still hustle the same. One person could wake up at 4 a.m. and hustle. Other person could wake up at 10 o'clock at night and hustle. It's all about the hustle and what's in you. So we don't got time to make excuses. Hold yourself accountable and don't wait for nobody to give you nothing. All right?
That's right. Don't wait for nothing.
God got you.
You know?
That's a subject.
Yo, excuse me real quick. I just would like to introduce one more person. I need you to come up here, man. You know, heard so many good things, but I know you're a fire super lyricist.
He's looking low right now.
He looking low. All right.
Slide up, slide up.
This is BC Day.
Trying to come as a civilian and all.
Trying to come as a civilian.
Like, nah.
Talk to them, baby. Introduce yourself, please.
Let's feed of mine one time, aka Alchemy's baby, aka one of the ones, baby. And I came out here with family originally. I'm from the Bronx.
Yes.
West Bronx, 176 Walton. I came out here and my nephew kept telling me about Scar. I want you to meet Scar. Big Scar right there. My nephew Joey. And Scar hit me up. I said, yo, I've been wanting to work with you, nigga. So I've been just tapping in with him here and there. And then, nigga, not too long ago, you linked up with these giants. And now he got a team, and now he trying to bring me around and show me around, take me out my cave, because he see me cooking and working. And you know, I got that grind in me that I want to come out too, you know. And I'm seeing how they moving legit.
Growls now. I'm about to fight something right now.
I see every nigga you see right here got some fire. And I'm like, I told this nigga, I was like, yo, y'all niggas is Wu-Tang. What? Wu-Tang type shit. So yeah, you already know, man. It's just good to be here. Being amongst real ones with that hustle, with that grind, with that hustle and flow, like Terrence. How you say Terrence Howard? So man, I don't even know I'm winded right now. I don't even know why. It might be the cigar that's in the coquito. But I'm in my bag regardless. You already know the vibes.
Tell them the project to look forward to.
Let them know.
Oh, right now, man, me and this genius mastermind right here that I be bumping heads with on the creative side when it comes to the mixing, but he's showing me things. He's showing me how to let go and just let go and let the man work. And he's surprising me. But I'm working on a project called Alchemy's Baby, and I call it Alchemy's Baby because all of us artists take all of our experiences and emotions and we transmute that shit into fucking fire. Big money. You know the vibe. So I said, man, Alchemy's Baby, because that's the foundation of all this music shit. A lot of times you angry, you depressed, you hurt, you fucked up. And all those times, all those emotions is raw material to come up with some heat. So I said, nigga, that's alchemy. So this shit on birth the nigga. Alchemy's Baby. So I'm looking forward to the feedback and like how people receive that shit.
So tell me this.
Whoa.
Well,
Yeah.
grab a seat. Yeah, just it's a disclaimer that chair's missing a wheel. It's a squeaky wheel. It's a squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm back.
TP.
Yes, sir.
Nah, I've been.
What's the name of the studio upstairs?
What's the name of it? Alchemist.
Oh, that's crazy.
See, and he said that about 3 times. I'm saying myself. I just waiting to make sure he was saying. That's crazy. Because that's the name of the studio.
I'm not winning no more.
That's crazy.
My bad.
I'm sorry, bro.
I woke up. I've been up till like 5 a.m. And I'm like, I'm just like, I've been out of it.
So check this out, y'all. This is the team right here, right? This is the team, right?
We're missing about 2 more artists.
Right,
we got shout out the words, and we missing Nosa Ari. She's our female vocalist, and soon to be singing the Star Spangled Banner TP. So we're gonna connect on that. We're gonna connect on that team.
Okay. So we're gonna start on this end.
Can I say something real quick? I never met the homie Words, but that dude is fire.
We're gonna start then. What you bring to the table?
Me?
Yeah.
Big one.
Once upon a time, I used to be a security for the brothers. We used to go out to shows, pat them down, regular. But then, one day, Drizzy brought me to the booth. And he was like, "Yo, say what you think, all right?" And kind of said how it felt, and started putting it all together.
Okay.
And then we also had Sister Nosa in there too. She had to do her little thing for a little.
So you're also an artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of new. I'm still new.
What became just an emotion became therapy for my big little bro down there. So why not? You know what I'm saying? He had that bag talk. You be in his bag and then you get in that bag. Yeah.
Okay.
We already play.
So Scott, what you bring to the table? What's your role here on the team here?
Y'all want to tell us? I don't want to brag.
There's a reason, baby. Brag.
Good
job.
Can I do something?
Listen, God made you this way, and you earned your spot. Yeah, say something, baby.
Man, this man is I told him what I told you the other day. I'm like, bro, you like the central brain, because he's a master engineer, and he know how to take your music and make it a masterpiece on the sound and the mixing and the engineering, and take it to radio ready sound clarity, and show you that your music could do something you didn't even know he could do. So like this is like the Avengers right here.
Okay, so Scott, who all you worked with in the past, man? What credits you got out there, man?
I got a credit with Snoop Dogg. I got a credit with Rick Ross. I got a credit with Top Dollar Sign. I used to be signed a Little Flip. I got a credit with The Exhibit. I had a song with Bone Thugs, homie, Crazy Bone. Shout out to Crazy Bone. The list goes, brother.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
And he got some fire.
Tell them what you bring to the table, Scar. Talk to them.
I'm a producer. I'm a rapper. I'm a singer. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a videographer.
You bring everything.
Jack of all trades.
Hell yeah.
There it is, man. See. That's
Master songwriter.
Master
songwriter. I can vouch for that.
Scott, tell them if you don't mind the experience on the saloon, because I feel like that was where we finally met each other in person, shook hands, and it was magical.
that's a whole big thing. Like these brothers right here, they're super talented. And normally when I go outside, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a fan of music first. So when I listen to music, I be listening for like the spirit in the music. And they definitely brought the spirit to the music. So I had no choice but to go up to them. Well, I think y'all came up to me, I don't remember. We connected and it was like love from there. And ever since then I was telling them like, yo, y'all gotta come to the studio. Not knowing they was already coming to the Revel.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
And just making the brotherhood from there.
That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? I like to see when things come together, man. You know what I mean? How brothers who, you know, walk the same walk, talk the same talk, but don't know each other because they're not part of the same clique. And then you click up and it works. You can't beat that, man. That's what's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell everybody that, you know, we always say we better together. You know what I mean? And there's strength in numbers, right? And see, so many people think that I'm the man and I have to be the man, right? But you never know, right? Everybody brings something to the table, right? And the game is about relationships. You know what I'm saying? Don't burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? Just don't let the same snake bite you twice. That's the jewel. You know what I'm saying? But don't burn bridges and always look to network. Because you know what? You never know who you're going to encounter, who's going to put you in a position where you need to be. You just got to be prepared for the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be prepared for the opportunity. So Drizzy, what you bring to the table, man?
Yeah, I'm the icon, baby. So you know what I mean. I try to carry myself. I don't try. I carry myself as such. You know what I mean. I'm a jack of all trades too. I'm a singer, rapper, songwriter. I bring that big raw energy to the stage.
Super photogenic.
To the studio sessions. To you know what I mean. To everywhere we go. You know what I mean. I'm the wild one. I mean. I like to sip. I like to dip. I like to. I don't trick though. I mean, that's the only thing I don't do. We outside, but we be outside though. Like I mean, I got my ways and everything, but I try to be I'm a loyal dog. So I try to tell I try to tell the family like, yo, listen, I got y'all back. I mean, and they know I got their back just from the energy I bring. I'm also like now the hype man because now that we have all these artists. And you know what I mean? We just bringing our own energy, and I just bring that energy to every performance, and try to just give them that battery in their back to be better, and we just keep doing better.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Come on, Guns. Let us hear it, man. What you bringing to the table to the team?
Leadership. You know what I'm saying? Leadership.
You gotta be a leader.
Not only as a follower, but as a father. You know what I mean? Because I do have two sons, but you got to bring that leadership. You got to bring that example. You know what I mean? Whether it's putting God first, maintaining your discipline, knowing when you got to fast from certain things, or knowing when we might be having too much fun, but we got to lock in. Because right now we got to lock in. You know what I mean? And my team, our team knows that. Everybody knows that individually.
Yeah.
And me wearing a couple of hats, I could fall short every now and then to the locking, but you know what? It's the fact that we're able to identify. So I'm a conscious rapper. Everything I do is pretty much basically premeditated. But at the same time, I have a lot of passion, and my passion could get misconstrued with, a different type of energy, like as if like you angry or you upset. But nah, we just so ready to go.
Well, it's always a message in the music. That's what we was talking about earlier. It's always it's always a message in the music, man. And you know what? You got to be a leader. Somebody got to be the leader, right? It doesn't mean that, you're the boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between a boss and a leader.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, everybody needs somebody to follow, right? And somebody got to set the example because we all men amongst men. And that's the thing that most people fail to realize, that when we are moving as a unit, we're men amongst men. That means that we all right here. You know what I'm saying? As long as we stay right here, we ain't never gonna fall off. You know what I'm saying? You know why cats don't get on and can't get on? Because they walk into the situation with the wrong attitude, with the wrong mindset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what?
The wrong ego.
I'm using myself for an example. I go anywhere I want in this country, outside this country, and I don't gotta check in. You know why I ain't gotta check in? Because I stand upright as a man. I'm not a tough guy, nothing like that. But you know what? When you treat people with respect, people respect you. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in places where, you know, I would be out on the West Coast and cats would be like, yo, who this cat? And somebody just step up just because of who I am, my energy, the way I present myself. They'd be like, nah, he good. You know what I'm saying? He ain't with what we doing. You know what I'm saying? He good. You know what I mean? So it's all in how you carry yourself and who you link up with. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't got to be nothing but a man, you know, a freeborn man, you know, who can stand on his own. You know, you give respect, you get respect, you know what I mean? And you ain't got to worry about somebody trying to run down on you, because you know what? Most people, when you stand upright as a man and they recognize that, you automatically getting a pass.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You automatically getting a pass, you know? So a lot of young brothers don't realize that we can all be doing the same thing, right? And you know what? I said, y'all got the best coquito in the land, right? But you can give me that recipe and I can go home and try to make it and it won't taste the same. It's going to be missing something, you know what I mean? But all the ingredients is this exact same way, proportionate, the way you said it was supposed to be. And I followed it to the letter and it's supposed to taste like that. But mine don't taste like yours.
AKA, right? You can have the sauce, but it won't taste the same.
Exactly. So you know what? I'm saying that to say that there's a lot of brothers out here who don't realize they're in their own way. Yep. You know why you're in your own way? Instead of you linking up with people who have access, right? Y'all got access to people that I don't have access to, right? That could benefit me. You know what I'm saying? And I know I got access to people who can benefit y'all, right? But if we don't link together and just sit in the room and kick it as brothers, as men amongst men, we'll never know.
Never know.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You know what they say? The cemeteries is the most productive and wealthiest places on the planet. For all the people who died with great ideas, businesses, books, songs, they could never use it. They died with it because they failed to make the connections they need to make. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody said, you know what? Oh, he wrote them cats over there. I ain't messing with him because he rock with them. No, why we think like that? You know what I'm saying? You know, because guess what? We're in our own way. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm looking at y'all, you know, and we've all had our interactions differently. You know what I'm saying? Scar came here with strategy, right? You know what I'm saying? I met the Vargas brothers through Ron. You know what I'm saying? I met him at Q's. You know what I'm saying? So my door was open to everybody. Come on in. Let's turn the mics on. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying? You know what? If I got something going on, I say, hey, come on. I got something going on. You know what? I know y'all got the coquito. Holiday time, come, my people come. What I do? I call y'all. I need a couple cases of that coquito. You know what I mean? You know?
He heard him. A couple cases. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so and with that being said, that's how you got to build relationships and work with your people. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You the source, you the plug for the coquito. I'm calling you. This what I need. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who you rock with. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know what I do. I know what I got. You know what I'm saying? But if there's something that I can give you to help you get past somewhere, to get somewhere, I'm gonna give it to you. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes all you gotta do is ask.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you know,
we ain't no mind readers, right?
Teach one,
yeah, sometimes all you gotta do is ask, man. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? I tell everybody, I get more money by mistake than most motherfuckers get on purpose.
Say it again.
You know
Say it again. Say it again. Wait, say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
You gotta write that one down.
I get more money by mistake than most motherfuckers get on purpose. And you know why? You know what's behind that? Is the way I live and the way I move. Because you know what? I ain't got a problem with talking with nobody. You know what I'm saying? With nobody. You know what I'm saying? This thing I was just telling y'all about, we're gonna do with the pay-per-view thing. If I didn't talk to some people who talked to me and we just had a conversation, I'd have never got to connect to be able to do that. something that can be very lucrative for me and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to make those connections and build your team. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, TP.
You know? But I just like sharing the information, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't like I'm saying that to say y'all continue to build the way y'all building. You know what I'm saying? And just because somebody ain't from your clique or he ain't from New York or he ain't from, you know, the town, and you know what, your man might have knocked his chick off, man. Just listen, man. Money over hoes.
That's the most common one.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm out here. I'm out here on that one.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
All that don't mean nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
The girl fault and the dude fault.
All that don't matter. All I'm saying is, you know what? To get the bag, you gotta set all that stuff aside, man. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? To get money with some people, I ain't gotta love you. I ain't gotta like. I might not even like you.
Nah, it's all about
But
business.
we can get money together.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We men amongst men. We gonna respect each other. You know what I mean? And let's get this money. Let's open these doors up. Because guess
Let's
what?
make $1 million. You know?
The reason why so many people got platinum records in their house is because they don't want to talk to nobody. They're trying to keep it to themselves. You're gonna die with it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die with it. Because I done linked up with mad cats.
To the
You
grave.
know what I'm saying? Who had platinum joints. And I would tell them, give me that. Come over here and let's do this. Because they got trust issues, right? They don't want to do it. I don't know him. Oh, he trying to take advantage of me. Ain't nobody taking advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you an opportunity.
I know somebody.
You know,
That's a difference.
you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take you somewhere where you can't go, because guess what? You don't have access. If I got access and I'm offering you the opportunity to have the access to what you need to get, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we done sit up in here. We can get the VP of Columbia Records to come sit right here with us. You know what I'm saying? One day we was upstairs. When was that? About a year ago? We upstairs in the studio, and Cassie realized the guy they want to get to is sitting upstairs in the room with them. You know what I'm saying? The VP of Columbia Records sitting in the room in the studio upstairs with them. You know what I'm saying? And the artist had something that was so dope. He began to make some phone calls right there, calling the top DJs in the country, saying, "Look, I got something I need you to hear. In fact, play it tonight." Yeah, am I jiving? Play it tonight. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? The reality is, you never know who you can link up with if you open your mouth and get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? You know what? That's why I say we the best kept secret in the Poconos, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like
ain't about to be a secret no more.
That's like similar
He
to,
listening, right?
similar to our story. You know, that's what made us like really like go like start taking it really serious and just going harder. Because at first it just started off as a song for a website. You know, I had little vocals in me and everything. You know, Tommy, you know, he rhymes, I rhyme too. But you know, we did that just the block, staircase, cipher, and then next thing you know, the right person heard the song while we was just playing it out of his car while we was packing the car up with Coquito at a Coquito event, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you know. And dude was like, "That's y'all." He's like, "What y'all doing selling Coquito?" He said, "Leave that to your family." He said, "Y'all supposed to be doing this right here." He said, "Well, from what I'm hearing and what I'm looking at right now," he said, "this is the direction y'all should be going in." And then we're like, "Oh,
Bringing
okay."
the Coquito along.
He was like, "Yo," he's like, "Make sure y'all come to the festival, Puerto Rican festival, and you know, and just we'll put you on stage and you can advertise the Coquito, you know, give you some airtime, blah blah blah." All right, I didn't come prepared, dressed in the. He was like, "You got that song you let me hear it the other day?" He was like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "I got 3 minutes for y'all."
Mind you, Harlem was like,
this is right
it
before
was
COVID.
a zoo. It was a zoo. The
2019.
festival was a zoo. We selling Coquito
right
and
before COVID.
it is a
That's right.
zoo. And he just
Everybody
sidebarred
was
up like, "Yo,
outside.
you got that song you let us listen to the other day?" All right, yo, I got 3 minutes for y'all. So I saw some monster girls on the side. I said, "Yo, come on the stage with us real quick." You know what I'm saying? They jumped on the stage with us.
They handle it first, respectfully. They handle it. I was like, you mind if they? He's like, "Yeah, ask them. They see if they cool." Like, we asked them. They're like, "Yeah, come on." Cause they seen that we was like, it was like on the fly. We was just freestyling. It was on and they was just with it. They seen the energy. They believed in us too. And boom, I built a relationship with them. I got them on Instagram. Still, checking in on them, seeing what they doing and modeling for this, that. But it was just boom, man. Everybody just received it. It was just like our biggest. It was 4 blocks, 5 blocks. I'm talking about, Third Ave, just straight know how.
Moral of the story.
Sound like a movie.
Moral of the story.
Sound like a
We
movie.
was given access.
That's
Moral of
right.
the story, we was given access. It's not always about mainly. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and then so on and so forth. But we appreciate you, T.
No
You know what I
doubt,
mean?
man.
DJ Rub, we appreciate
Likewise,
you all the
man.
time. You know what I mean? Like y'all always, it humbles us to be in the presence of you guys as our elders and to hear the flowers that's given before we got the opportunity to go worldwide, and it just gives us more reason not to let people like yourselves down, as well as our family. Because
people that got skin in the game like that, like
that's
where
where
they just talking.
the leadership comes from, the model of doing it for the family. Like the younger ones is listening, the next generation they watching, and we got to make sure that the generation before that they secured. Man, generational wealth is definitely on.
And
our
you know
table.
what's important also? Don't be afraid when somebody try to bring you into the back door. You know what I'm saying? Because that might be your best way in.
Yes, sir.
Through the back door. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Anybody can give you a job, right? But it's a difference when somebody give you a career. A job and a career is 2 different things.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know the word job is just an acronym. It's not really a word. It's an acronym. Y'all know what it is?
Drop us down.
Tell us.
I know. Job. The word job that we call the word is just an acronym for just over broke.
Wow.
That was a name. That word job was created by the people that built America. The Rockefellers, the Carnegies, you know what I'm saying? All those big people like that built America, they came up with the term job. You know what I'm saying? Because if you were an employer and an employee, that means you got a fair wage, right? You could stack your bread and then make the right investments, and in no time at all, we would be equals, right? But they came up with the term, give them a job. We got to keep them just over broke. So we ain't got to worry about them becoming our competition. You know what I'm saying? So long as you got a job, know that you're not getting your just due. You're not getting your worth.
Job turkey.
I don't care if they paying you $250,000.
You're worth 500 to a million. You're worth a million.
You're worth a million. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because guess what? Their idea was to make sure you didn't change your zip code. They didn't want their employee to be living in their neighborhood, to be living next to them, or to be able to build something that they had. So they created the acronym JOB. We want to keep them just over broke, give them enough to make it, to survive, but not make it. You know what I'm saying?
That taps right into the right into the leadership, man.
So that's why I'm telling y'all, when somebody lets you in through the back door, he's giving you an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Let's drop some games.
So some brother wrong.
So mind you guys that I'm from the South. And so one of my business partners, he came to me and talked to me years ago, and he said this gentleman told him this, and it was so powerful because everything you just said lines up right with it. Yes, job is just over broke, right? And it also ties into having a poor mentality, passing over opportunities repeatedly.
Hey, I was just about to say that.
Right. Yeah. But then he said this is one that caught me, and everything you just added on after the just over broke was the definition of rich, breaking it down, realizing it can happen. So everything I'm taking from you today, basically just told us, as long as we can realize it can happen, we'll always have a rich mentality.
Definitely, each one teach one.
Well, right. I say that to say, because we got something that's going to be going on next year, right? It's a big event. You know what I mean? To put this event on, it's costing us $1.7 million to produce the show. All right. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about most people can't fathom that because they're afraid. They got to gamble with the rent money. You know what I mean? Fast money done slowed up. They just over broke. They got a job. How you going to do it? You know what I'm saying? You plan it. We got something huge that we're doing next year, September. And the reason why I'm telling you is not happening this year. It's going to happen next year, September, because it's costing us $1.7 million to do it. We have to put the money together to do it, right? Now, the event might not be ideal for what you do, right? But if I invite you to come in through the back door, because all my partners that's involved in this will say, well, that's not the vibe, the direction we want to go with this. That's not the music we want to play. We want to do something else, right? But you guys have an opportunity to get through any door, and your coquito is the way.
Yes, sir.
You know why? We're doing this big event down in Maryland at the National Gaylord Convention Center next year, and it's classic R&B, today's and yesterday's R&B event, right? But there's also going to be a bunch of vendors there, right? So you want to get on in the industry, right? That's your goal. Your love is to make music, perform, and all that stuff, right? If somebody come in and invite you, say, come on, y'all come down here, bring 100 cases or 50 cases of your coquito. Set up your stand, be a vendor over here, right? We're talking about no less than 5,000 people being there. You know what I mean? Because the lineup that we have is incredible. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to draw like that. Plus, it's in the A market where a lot of artists don't get to perform in the A market. You know what I'm saying? Like right here where we are. Do y'all know what market this is up here?
CD.
This is a C market.
Right.
This is a C market. Leaning more towards the D market. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I like to be nice and call it the C market, but in actuality, it's really a D market. You know what I mean?
Just a quick piggyback. Coming out of here, that means we gotta work a little extra harder, which we don't mind. So let's get to it, my niggas. Let's go.
Yeah.
Knowing that we in the C, even though we from New York, this is where we residing at, and we just taking heat as a C market. So we just continue to get on our A game so we can crack that.
Because you know what? A lot of people be Hollywood before their time.
Right.
You know, like I did a song once, and you know, it's about a joint, you know, and the song I was telling the girl, don't ask me about my black card. Right? It's way too early to be buying cars. You know what I'm saying? Just play your position and pay your dues, and there's nothing I won't do for you. That was the line of the song. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Play your role. Pay your dues, and it's nothing I won't do for you. You're gonna be good, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to pay your dues, but you have to be prepared for the opportunity. Because now I take y'all into an event like that, right? And y'all gonna say, well, this really ain't our crowd, this ain't our music, right? But the people that's gonna be there are the people you need to know. You know what I'm saying?
They need to know you.
That's the people you need to know, because guess what? Tomorrow's classic is gonna be your music. You know what I'm saying? So the people that I did stuff with 20 years ago, right? 30 years ago, all their music is considered classic music now. And the music that was classic then is considered vintage music. You know what I'm saying? So you always have to replenish the audience,
Yes,
right? So that 40-year-old dude from 20 years ago, now he's 60, 65. Some of them might be 70, right? They don't want to rock with your music because they don't understand it, right? But some of those people are the gatekeepers, you know what I'm saying? To can put you in position where you need to be. So sometimes you have to do what you got to do to put yourself in position to win.
Step outside.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to put yourself in position to win. You know, like, and I'm gonna leave you with this ditty here, and we're gonna wrap this up. Whenever somebody come tell you about somebody else, right? You just gotta ask them a one-word question. Why? You know what I'm saying? If somebody come and say, why you don't mess with him? They'll give you, I don't know, ask them why. If you ask them why and they can't give you a straight up answer or reason why he got an issue with you, tell that man, get off his dick. Tell that man, get off his dick. You know what I'm saying? You jealous. You know what I'm saying? Because the brother, you probably don't even know him
at all.
He didn't do nothing to you, but you know what? His energy is so strong. His shine is so bright. You know what? Everybody want to be me, but me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know? So cats be looking at y'all and be like, yo, that cat Scar, he got some credits. He done did some things. He's talented. He's this, he's that, and the third, right? But whatever he might need today to get him the multi-million-dollar deal, this joker might have it in his pocket, but he don't want to share it with him because he's jealous. You know what I'm saying?
The opposite of what you want to be.
You know what I mean? Jealous. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
So you know what? So do the knowledge, pay attention to who around you, right? And the truth lies within the joke. When people tell you little jokes, they mean that shit. It ain't no joke. The truth lies when a guy come up and tell you some stuff, you know, about what you do, about your chick, or the type of girls you like, or whatever. He's telling you the truth. He's telling you how he feels. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you how he feels. You know what I mean? So you have to be astute and on point, razor blade sharp, and be a good listener. You know, when there's an instructor comes speaking, I tell it all the time, you gotta have an attentive ear. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta absorb it, you gotta hear it, and you gotta have a faithful breast. You know, you gotta keep it close to the chest sometime, and you pay attention to who around you. Because guess what? It only takes one weak link to break the chain. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how strong your chain is, one rusty link gonna kill the whole train. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta G-check each other. You know what I'm saying? And make sure if this brother is falling off because he got some shit on his mind, he got baby mama drama, the job ain't acting right. You know what? Sometimes y'all got to get together and lift him up, pick him up, because he might not strong enough to do this. Because sometimes when I'm down, I do this. I lift myself up. You know what I'm saying? You know, so y'all got to work together, build together. And if there's cats in your camp who don't want to work with cats outside your camp, you got an enemy in your camp. You know what I'm saying? Because that's only foolish. That's only foolish. You know what I'm saying? Because that loyalty is what we call loyalty to a fault. When you got somebody in your camp telling you, "Now I ain't messing with them niggas over there." Why? Just ask them why. Because guess what? Them motherfuckers over there shining like gold. They doing shit. Y'all motherfuckers is just in the basement. Y'all on the block. You know what I'm saying? Listen, nigga, you still got a job. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Are you getting invited to certain events? If I tell y'all, come on, I got some invites to the Grammys. Come hang out with me. I might not tell you where we going, but I'll tell you, hang a suit, throw on some vines, man. You know what I mean? Get your girl dressed up. We're gonna go out. I might say, come on, we're going to the MTV Awards. We're going to the Grammys. We're going to the American Music Awards. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You never knew that your man got access to all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you might just know me as Fat Boy Fresh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And don't realize that, you know what? If you around long enough and do the knowledge, look.
Find your face.
You'd be surprised. You know what I'm saying? But study your camp. Y'all got a solid team. I like what I see. You know what I'm saying? I like what I see enough that I would invest in y'all. I like what I see. I would invest with y'all, right? But I guarantee if you go back and get all your crew together in the room and say, you know what? Them cats believe in us over there. He said he'd be willing to invest in us. Half your camp say, nah, I don't give a fuck with them. I don't trust them. Guaranteed. Because they're afraid. You know what I'm saying? Because they're afraid. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid. You know what? Don't be afraid to come through the back door. Because the back door is how you get your career. You don't get a job. You know what I'm saying? I worked for Atlantic Records for years. I had a job. You know what I mean? I had a production deal. I wrote songs. I put songs out there when I had a production deal. A production deal was just a job. they kept me just over broke. You know what I'm saying? You know what? When you was a part of a song that sold 6 million copies and you didn't even know it was on the radio because you still in there, you still in the studio banging out songs and doing stuff, and the gatekeeper wouldn't even let you know that, you know what? Yeah, you got a production deal. Oh yeah, you got a nice car, you got a nice crib, you up. But when you're, you know, happy is the picture when you do the picture in the frame. You figure that on me?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times,
I like that one.
You know, happy is the picture, but you do the picture in the frame. You know what I mean? And you'll never know. But somebody might be blocking you from seeing that, and they're using your own fears to keep you in the dark, to keep you where you need to be at. So sometimes you gotta analyze your camp. You know what I mean? We did a show one time here we called Enemy in the Camp. You know what I mean? You gotta recognize you got an enemy in your camp. And it can be your cousin, it can be your brother, it can be your mother, your father. Because of their past experiences and their fears and phobias, they can't see the forest from the trees. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and this brother here, we had a club in Myrtle Beach. We lived in New York. You know what we did? We took Spirit Airlines every day, every weekend, and flew to Myrtle Beach from LaGuardia Airport to Myrtle Beach. Opened up our club, banged our club out for the weekend, got back on the plane, and flew back to New York. You know what I mean? We were carpetbaggers. We went down there and got their money, but we brought them entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Brought them entertainment. One of my biggest mistakes is not letting Cat Williams tell jokes in our club.
That's a fact.
When the brother was homeless. You know what I mean?
This story is real.
With no teeth in his mouth. You know what I mean?
Story is real.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, so don't be afraid, build a team. You know what I mean? Take these jewels, man. I get paid for this conversation I'm having with y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know, I used to go out and do seminars, music seminars, all this stuff, and educate the young bulls about the game and what to look out for and what to do. I just gave y'all game for free, man. You know what I'm saying? Check your camp, keep building the camp. You know, let's keep working. Let's keep pushing the ball forward. You know what I mean? And when you get that invitation to go somewhere that you ain't never been before, you know what I mean?
Check it out.
Don't be afraid to go. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to go, and don't worry about checking in, man. You know, if you come through there respectfully, ain't nobody got a problem with you. You know what I mean? Is when you come through there disrespectfully, you should have checked in. You know what I'm saying? You know, and had somebody roll with you. But you know what? I was a young bull going everywhere. You know what I mean? I walk a bunch of dudes in front of the store, blocking the doorway in. You know what I do? I walk them. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? I just knocked them off their square because it was expecting me to be confrontational, so they can be confrontational. No, hey, how y'all doing, man? Y'all good? Everybody good? Yeah, you know. Pardon me, excuse me. Oh, I'm going right through. Yes, you know what I mean? Fuck them up because they're not used to people being that way. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go down the line. So give us your parting statement, man, your words.
Man, just keep striving for what you want to be, you know. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let relationships get to you. And if you got a dream, go for it.
Keep God first, keep pushing and pray on it. So
Drizzy.
You already know, man. Keep going. That's the motto. Relentless. Don't let nobody out there tell you no. Don't let nobody out there stop you from your dreams. Listen, man, you got a vision, lock in, manifest it, and it's gonna happen.
Pass the mic down.
It's one thing I always stick with. Find a way to serve the many. For service to many leads to greatness.
There you go.
I love that shit.
Okay.
One thing I'm learning, like, about like ego, you know, and I believe that like great ones recognize great ones, and like I'm glad like I don't suffer the curse of having like a type of ego that like gets in my way of recognizing big aura and want to be next to it because it's a vibration, and like big aura, someone who's like with swag and confidence could be like a tuning fork. and raise my vibration up and my creativity. And I see that in these fellas right here.
Here we go, man. So there y'all have
say anything, closing remarks?
No, I'm good. He said enough.
All right, so in summing this up, you know, I'm gonna keep it interesting, right?
The most interesting.
What we're trying to say in a nutshell, we could have said this in like 2 minutes. If you're not on this team, give up hope. Just give up hope. You know?
You try to
Say,
tell
look, and don't listen to Uncle TP. It's nothing wrong with a job because all my kids quit their jobs after hearing it. Right? Listen, don't listen to Uncle. Look, there's nothing wrong with a job. I want y'all to know.
Y'all, I love y'all friendship. I swear I love y'all relationship.
Like, damn.
Because when Uncle TP said, I was listening. I'm like,
my ass in
you
at 4
take your ass
o'clock in
to
the
work
morning
tomorrow. You know what I mean?
There's levels.
It's nothing wrong with a job. I don't want your own
And
radio world quit.
We all need health care.
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you do what you got to do. And it's not wrong with a job. True story. It's just if you have a job and you making money. Because look, I don't want to pay for people haircut when we got to go do a show. You need a little basic money just to maintain yourself. So you don't, be a weight to other people. So a job can get you, hold you, like you said, keep you just over broke till you pop.
Stepping stone.
It's nothing wrong with that job.
There you go.
So I just want to clean that up because somebody gonna say this.
Take
By
that shit
tomorrow.
literal. They're gonna be like, I'm quitting tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't even want to look at my text messages right now.
I'm not even going to work tomorrow.
You got Dre going though.
I'm locked in like I'm quitting tomorrow. I'm gonna move into Genesis Radio.
Yeah,
right.
right.
So I don't know.
You got a little Kalahari plug right there.
I just want to share that. You know what I mean? And then I just want to say that. Listen,
Not no more. I quit.
I love the whole energy here. I love the whole energy here, man. This was definitely a vibe. And TP, even though I know this guy for 40 years, we still ping pong off each other. Look, he dropping nuggets. And listen, man, just work so hard until you no longer have to introduce yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying right there. And just keep it up. We here. Y'all know y'all got access to at least what we have. We might not have everything you need, but we definitely could build with each other and destroy a few things. And we know what's gonna happen if we do nothing. So keep grinding, bro.
Double nothing.
I appreciate y'all, man. Just being in the cycle. I enjoyed the build. I enjoyed y'all show. Y'all undefeated with me. Every show that I've done with y'all, it's a home run. Nobody bunting. Y'all hitting the home run every time. So it's just a matter of time, man. It's like it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, man.
I thought we need 20 for the unity.
20 minutes.
We need 20 for the unity.
We definitely blessed, and it was a pleasure running into Ron and being introduced to Genesis Radio right along with TP and DJ Rudd.
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro, I need the lotto numbers tonight. This dude, he won the studio time, man. I'm saying he got the lucky charm. Y'all got a lot. Your team is amazing, man. The rest of y'all, if y'all ain't on this team, just I don't know what y'all doing.
We will be releasing music.
Cancel Christmas.
Cancel Christmas. We releasing new music. All June. Need y'all to look forward to Dorka. Look forward to Big Money. Look forward to the family. Look forward to Shake That. What's your single? Roll Me Roll?
Do it again.
Look forward to Do It Again. And look forward to the Alchemy Baby.
Baby,
We're not trying to die on property, man. So
I like that.
There you go, man. With that being said, we're gonna bail out. It was a great chat.
Shit, sir.
You know what I mean? And we're gonna do it again, y'all. Peace out, y'all.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
I just wanted to also tell y'all to look forward to Nosa's project and look forward to it. Words Could Explode.
Yes, sir.
Leave that nigga
Words.
now.
You know the vibes is out now. We'll get that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, before y'all close, give up your how they can contact you and stuff. We didn't even do that. Give up their Instagram.
You can contact
or
me at TNT Dre on Instagram, or I'm not gonna give my government on Facebook. Just contact me through IG or theVaughansBrothers.com.
Y'all can contact me anywhere at King Scar. That's KINGSCVRR.
Get at me at _instructure_ on Instagram. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
I go by Mr. Song Guns, the Fedora Aura. Preferably get at me at 1844 Coquito. Toll-free number. You're gonna reach me. We got you, baby.
There you go.
In the world, bro.
And I go by the name of Montreal. Montrell. Montreal Music 25.
There you go.
Alchemy's Baby.
Yo, on Feed the Mind, but on IG, I'm Alchemy's Baby. You already know the vibes.
All right, y'all. There it is.